Humans are not created by the greatest creator himself. Lifechanyuan. June 13, 2023. Edited by Chinyu. The greatest creator has 8 major features, one of which is uniqueness. This means that the greatest creator is unique, and there is only one greatest creator in the universe. Another feature of the greatest creator is amorphousness. The greatest creator does not have a fixed form, he can take on any image or even be formless. Why do we say that humans were not created by the greatest creator himself? There are 2 pieces of evidence, one is factual, and the other is logical reasoning. The fact is the book of Genesis in the Bible, Genesis 1 verse 26 states, "Then God said, Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness." This passage clearly tells us that humans are created in the image and likeness of us. So, who are we? We definitely cannot be the greatest creator because there is only one greatest creator, and it is impossible to have many. We are not a singular entity but rather a plural one. When the greatest creator says we, it represents and includes himself. This indicates that the greatest creator is not unique but rather numerous, which contradicts the fact. The fact described in the Bible tells us that humans are not created by the greatest creator but by us. If we claim that the greatest creator participated in creating humans, then without a doubt, the greatest creator mentioned in the Bible is not that unique greatest creator. In other words, humans have mistakenly equated the greatest creator with gods. In the Bible, it is referred to as God, and the Chinese translation of God is deity, rather than the greatest creator. In English, the letter G in God is written in uppercase G to differentiate between gods and the greatest creator. The lowercase God refers to gods, while the uppercase God refers to the greatest creator. This is a human-made distinction and difference that cannot be discerned in the pronunciation. If we firmly believe that what is described in the Bible is a fact, then we have to acknowledge that humans are created by gods, not by that unique God, while this unique God is the greatest creator. Therefore, we have to reconsider and rename that unique God. Instead of calling him God or the God, we should call him the greatest creator. In Chinese, we can still refer to him as Shangdi, but this Shangdi is not the God described in the Bible. The conclusion is that the Bible tells us that humans are created by gods, not directly by the greatest creator. Humans have mistaken gods for the greatest creator. Why is it like this? Let's engage in logical reasoning. Where does the meaning of life lie? If everything is created by the greatest creator, and all living beings are born to enjoy, then does the universe still have meaning? All lives await the greatest creator to provide them with food, clothing, shelter, and to take responsibility for their birth, aging, illness, and death. In that case, does the existence of life itself still hold any joy? The greatest creator is responsible for all affairs while all lives are only responsible for enjoyment. Does the greatest creator experience joy? Imagine if you were born with everything provided by your father, and your entire life was spent being fed, bathed, clothed, carried on his back during travel, and having your father take care of everything and fulfill your wife's needs. Do you think there would be any joy or meaning in your life? Let's speculate and imagine the process of the greatest creator's creation of life after his birth. The greatest creator created gods and angels, deriving pleasure from creation. In order for gods and angels to also derive pleasure from creation, they were entrusted with the task of creating other forms of life. Thus, gods created humans in their own image and likeness, and angels created other forms of life such as animals, plants, microorganisms, etc. To enable humans to also derive pleasure from creation, resources for creation were provided, allowing humans to utilize these resources to create everything they need for their own lives. As a result, people spend their entire lives busily creating, building houses, cars, wealth, inventing machines, tools, food, and so on. In this way, the entire universe becomes filled with vitality, joy, and meaning. Now, let's consider whether the speculation and imagination I presented earlier align with the laws and facts of the universe. Actually, this is not mere speculation and imagination, it is the process of the birth of the universe and life itself. This process tells us that all gods were created by the greatest creator, all humans were created by the gods, and all other species were created by angels or celestial beings. Houses, cars, machines, tools, and everyday objects are all creations of humans. Based on the facts and logical reasoning described in the Bible, we can conclude that humans were not created directly by the greatest creator. What value does this information hold? It means that humans should no longer attribute all the negative or even evil things in the world to the greatest creator's creation. The cruel laws of the animal kingdom are not the creations of the greatest creator. Creation is the source of all happiness. If you want to experience joy and find meaning and value in life, then go forth and create.